good morning. Just here at the Hot Rod Shop. It's Friday, June 20th. Lots of things moving around today. Getting a lot of stuff figured out for this Sunday's car show. And a few cars need to move around. We got the 57 over here yesterday. Get going on that new project. We ran into a roadblock on the 51. The Terminator X ECU is not giving us trigger for fuel pump. So that's a warranty issue. So super frustrating. After a bunch of hours of diagnosis with that, Holly has confirmed that yes, you need a new ECU, so that is on its way. So that's on hold. Just was hoping to have this back for the customer this weekend, but unfortunately that's out of our hands. The Impala is as far as we can go with it right now. We are short on a few pieces for it still. A bunch of the parts that we had ordered that we were waiting for never came yet or haven't come at all. So we've got a final list of parts to work over, and it's about third in line next to the 40 and the 30 Buick there for upholstery. So we're just going to move it to storage again to keep it safe and out of our way until the final pieces arrive. And then as one of these cars is out of here, it will be back in line and we'll start doing upholstery. We will keep the seats here and some of the seat upholstery will be accessible. So if he does get time, we can do some work on the Impala without it being here. And we've moved the Eleanor car to the fab side of the shop to finish up the work on that. And the Lincoln, we now have the engine set in it with the transmission. We've kind of got it where we think we might want it roughly, and now it's just looking into parts and pieces to piece this together. We're going to look into electric over hydraulic steering and electric air conditioning, trying to see what is the best course of action for stuff on the front of this engine. These Coyotes aren't the easiest for front stuff, as all the cars that they came in have electric power steering, and then the alternator and the AC pump are off the bottom of the engine and are super wide, so don't work well in these old school type vehicles. That being said, this car is obviously going to have a bit of a stereo system in it, so our first course of action is figuring out what we're doing with the oil pump, or sorry, oil pan and pump obviously, or pickup I guess it would be, but we need to look into that. I think the same pan that is on the Eleanor car will work for it. Look into an alternator situation. Not only do we need to move the alternator, we want that alternator to be a very high amperage to be able to charge a couple of batteries and run a stereo system and potentially power steering and air conditioning and all that fun stuff. So need to look into that. We've done quite a few of these Coyote swaps, but we haven't gone into them deep enough where we've had to do all this. The cars we've put them in, we've been able to fit most of the stuff in the factory location. We've been able to add power steering to it because we had the room to add the vintage air power steering bracket to it. Just need to get to that stuff, so we're kind of on hold on the engine fitment end of things until we get those parts and figure out at least a course of action. And in the meantime, when Corbin's done whatever fab work he's doing to the Mustang, he's started on the inner fenders on the rear. The outer wheel housings, we need to clearance more so we can get a big tire dumped into this car and have it get closer to the outer wheel well, or the inner side of your quarter panel skin, so the wheel doesn't have to be inset so far. To clear when it's bagged out, we want that wheel to be out nice and far and tuck up nice and far. So he's got that to work on. So we'll do a little bit more of a walk around here. Lyle's been doing the door panels on the Buick McLaughlin, so we'll give you a show of what he's doing there. The customer wants pockets in all four of the doors, so he's done some woodwork on the inside of the doors, because the pockets before, you just lose everything down inside the door. So the customer wanted some wood frames put in behind there. Leah could probably pop up a couple pictures of what Lyle's posted on the shared album of that. So yeah, he's just getting all these panels ready for the pockets, so then he can finish building that and wrap those. So it's coming along, and we're still waiting on the carpet for this, right, Lyle?
Yeah, should be here today.
Oh, okay. So he should have the carpet here today for it, and he's got this one seat bottom wrapped, as we showed in yesterday's video, I believe, but the rest of the foams are close and ready to be wrapped as well, right? Oh, okay, nice. So just waiting on some materials. So yeah, coming along real good. And yeah, we need to do every once in a while, we need to go through all our shelving and get things back in order. So I don't know if you've been looking around in the videos and seeing, but there was a lot of stuff kind of sticking out of this shelf. So we're condensing everything. The 40 Ford parts need to be here, the 30 Buick parts need to be here. and over here is now going to be the 57 parts. And then we have a bunch of assembly stuff that we keep. All the, you get leftover parts out of kits all the time. So we have air ride parts, we have spare plug wires from kits, braided fuel line pieces, steel braided cables, and Dakota Digital spare parts. And anyway, we keep all that stuff. We could just throw a lot of this away and the customer would have to purchase all these little parts and pieces every time. We would make a few dollars here and there, but the time saved in this helps keep that build cost down. So having parts like this and having them organized and available to just grab as they need them, like I said, we don't make money off it, but we definitely make up a lot of time by having it. So we have that right in the area in the center here of the assembly area. And over here on the 57, Carrick has been tasked with this job. So he's got the engine and transmission pulled out, and we're just going to move and modify the customer's engine mounts that he's welded in here. We're gonna move them forward at least an inch, get that engine and driveline moved ahead. It looked like he had his driveline angles set up pretty good. They were exact opposite of where the rear end is set, and it's a static system with an independent rear, so we should be good there with the angles. Just need to move it ahead. So a little bit of cross member mount modifications, engine mount modifications, and we should be able to drop this engine back in. I'm going to have to look into front runner stuff for this as well. This is an 04 Holden GTO package, and again, not a lot different than, like I was just explaining with the Coyote motors. The AC pump hangs off the bottom of these, so there's not a lot of room. I hate the same pump, but compressor, AC compressor, and the customer was trying to clearance some room there on the upper suspension arm that we'll have to repair because he's kind of weakened that a little bit. But if we do go with like a vintage air front runner kit, it tightens all this up tight into the engine. And the beauty of that too is it does start to make the engine look a little bit more old school, because you start getting the valve covers exposed a little more, and then you can get the retro valve covers to cover the coils. We'll see if we can make up some time in this quote that we've given, and if we can, maybe within the budget he'll be able to get a couple little goodies like that to at least make it look really cool and function well. So that's the other issue, is he was trying to run it with all the original equipment, which if he would have eventually gone down that road and maybe had it work, he would have been able to run like a factory alternator and a factory AC compressor, because they are computer controlled. So like PWM and stuff like that, you can't really do that with the Holley stuff as far as I know. So a lot easier to get an aftermarket front runner kit. And again, I've said this many times, parts are cheaper than labor, and in the long run you get a better product. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So that's it over here in the hot rod shop. We got a bunch of parts to move around down to storage. We have on-site storage as well as off-site storage, and we've got a lot of off-site storage stuff kind of in our local storage. So we got to move things around a little bit and get organized here. So we will see you on the road or so. All right, just down at the auto shop. Of course, Friday, only 2 people on staff, or actually kind of 3 now. We moved Clint down to this shop. So Clint's helping me move a bunch of around this morning. So Oscar is doing a diff cover on this BMW. I guess an oil change place, over torqued the drain plug and split the case. So he's just getting that done. And this is one of our previous employees' vehicles. So yeah, so he's just getting that done for him. The 40 Chev is all back together. The wheel spacers shimmed down, everything worked out great there. We put the bump stops in there. We had to adjust the coilovers a little bit, but is now ready to go down to the body shop and fab shop. We need to lower these brackets below here so they don't hit the hood again, and then have the hood painted. I believe the hood might have, yeah, I think the hood's been brought down to Ferd in the body shop already. But yeah, we need to modify those braces so they don't hit again, and then that car will be done. Not sure where all we've got with this Camaro. I haven't talked to anybody since yesterday, but John's not in today. He's been working on it. So that's that. The end bay here is where Dave's been working on the LaSalle. I think all the brakes are back together on it now, so we'll head over and see where he's at with this. I know the owners wanted it for the car show this weekend, but you're having carburetor problems or something yesterday, right?
Carburetor problems yesterday and cooling system problems today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you get the carburetor working enough for the weekend?
Enough for the weekend,
yeah.
But it still needs a new carburetor.
Okay,
yeah.
And then now what's happening? The cooling?
The cooling system. This one here, many years ago, looks like someone put a coolant bottle on this.
Okay.
They're tucked down into the frame.
Oh, okay.
And it's shooting out there, and the cap they use doesn't have a rubber seal up here.
Oh.
So it's like a one-way valve. It's just been overflowing the bottle.
Oh, okay.
Continuously. And now it's leaked out all over the tire and all over the frame.
Okay. So is it just missing that seal, or are they, like it needs a new rad cap?
Or never there to begin with.
Yeah.
We've ordered up a new cap.
Okay.
So
it's just a rad cap.
Yeah. But it's supposed to, modern day ones have one there, and this design around here is different too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Does it say like what it is on the top? Is it just normal like 3 or 4 pound cap?
This one, particular one, is a 7-pound cap.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's that though. Hopefully the new cap stops it from leaking, and it can head down and get a little bath, and
exactly.
They can at least have it for the car show and
have it for the car show. We'll get the availability for a carburetor for this.
We should just put a little 2-barrel sniper on there.
There we go.
And be done with it. But is this thing 6 volt?
Already has other electrical issues.
Yeah,
kind of.
It's 6 volt anyway, so
6 volt.
I don't think they work off 6 volt. Maybe a 12 volt conversion would be a good start.
Yeah.
Or just do like everybody else and throw a small block Chevy in there.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, like I said, not a lot happening down on the auto shops on Friday. A little more in the future here. We just made the switch this week with Clint coming down to this shop to help us, because we just need more bodies down at this shop to get some of this stuff done. So that's the plan. So we'll head over into the office here and see what's going on. We got a little rack here we're going to bring to the car show, but it'll also work well for here. So we picked this up from Uline yesterday, and yeah, we'll be able to advertise some stuff like that we have on sale and whatnot in here with this, or around the corner in here. The main reason for it was for the car show, so we can bring some of this stuff and advertise some parts. So that's about that. So anyway, talk to you soon. All right, Clint and I finally loaded up some of the stuff to go to our off-site storage using the dually. We got insurance on it now. Still need to do exhaust manifolds. I forgot the wipers were toast. If you've seen the video of me driving it back from Vancouver, yeah, the wiper blades are about the same age as the truck. That one's actually missing the whole blade. It's literally just the backing of the rubber on the driver's blade. So anyway, got Jessica ordering up some wiper blades for it, and of course we got the truck loaded and the rain's coming. So yeah, anyway, we've got tow mirrors on it now, which is nice, and we've got a new plug coming for the trailer, so we can start towing the trailer with the 1-ton. So yeah, anyway, gonna head to off-site storage and get this stuff put away. Have a small break on the rain here, so we're gonna get this down to the body shop. All right, more on with the busy day here. Just got the stacker trailer here now with 2 of the bumblebees in it, but one of the ramps has broken with the Ghostbusters car. I think they were unloading in grass, and these sunk into the grass and put all the weight on the hinge and broke it off. But we noticed there's actually cracks in this one, and this one as well. So we should probably weld that up. But of course these trailers are put together with like a spline drive, so I don't know how many points that is, but 3, 6, 8, looks like about an 8 spline and about a T20-ish size. So we're not sure if anybody here has that, but Clint has just gone down the road to take a look. So yeah, anyway, a couple of the bumblebees and the stacker. Girls got the truck and camper all cleaned up. I need to get this truck and trailer over there, get it cleaned up. They've got the 40 Chev over here to Get the hood work done. Corbin's got the bars cut down to size and ready to start TIG welding his new bracket on. See what's happening over here since we're over here. Putting together another seat cover. Looking good. Cool. So yeah, he'll have the back seat done, so he'll have kind of a completed section of the car by the end of the day probably, so that's cool. Getting things cut apart, are you?
Yeah, everything's cut apart. It's just plasma because I couldn't get into the cracks, so now I'm just grinding the out of everything.
Yeah.
But I got everything prepped back there, ready to go, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Just up here, just got to prep a few more things, get this pipe out of here and slot it forward that inch.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is, instead of bolts going this way, I'm going to reverse them so I can actually remove them if need be.
Oh, and do a caps
and then
like
have
a
a
welded
stand like
nut.
that.
Yeah,
Exactly, something like that. So
cool.
that's my solution, but it's a lot of grinding.
Looks like when we have the welder over here, we might want to bevel out this
I think
one
so.
weld there and give him a little bit something that's a little more sticky than.
Especially if that's your steering, like your suspension, everything to the chassis. That's right. So
yeah,
it's been welded quite cold. It looks like.
Yeah, a lot of cold welds going on here. Some of it doesn't matter; it's superficial, but that one's a little ugly. Yeah.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll
get it done.
We'll get it done and make sure it doesn't fall apart on them on the first drive. Anyway.
Exactly.
Cool. Coming together. All right. Been riding in my pocket all day here. Anyway, had to grab a hoodie off the shelf here. It's pouring rain. Poor girls are out here washing up the red trailer over there in the pouring rain. So yeah, we're deep into it here, getting ready for the car show. So we got cars even in the detail office right now. Nikki's polishing some water spots off of the Riviera. The pretty much brand new 2010 Camaro's all cleaned up and ready. We picked up the Predator. We'll get that cleaned up a little bit. That'll be going on the front steps at the courthouse. They've already cleaned up the Optimus, looking good, charging up the batteries. Got the tour vehicle here. A few years ago when they got this, the roof was pretty cloudy, so they got a new one and we put that on there for them. So yeah, this is the tour vehicle. One of the Jeeps is up on the hoist. One's outside, it's got a roof on it, so it's getting wet. Got the Bronco all cleaned up over here. And yeah, the trailer, they're just getting the trailer all cleaned up. And I think they cleaned the inside of it out too pretty good. Check it out. We still need the door fixed here. It's ugly, but got somewhat clean in here, so it'll be better for the weekend. So yeah, there we go. Crappy weather. The Mark's Jeep is all cleaned up. We need to wash that truck and that trailer, and lots to do yet. All right, things moving quickly down here on the 40 Chev. New bracket made, still one to the touch. Nicely tigged up below the hood height and straightened out. It was all off before. What we had found is that the rad support holes weren't straight, so the part was made straight, but then it went on crooked because the holes weren't straight. So we've done the best we could without rebuilding everything, and it looks a lot better, that's for sure. So that's coming together, looks good. Doors are nice and low now. And over here, I think Corbin's getting going on the ramp repair for the trailer here. Oh yeah, he's got her in place. Got some tacks down already. Should be fixed in no time. All right, Corbin's got this all fixed up, ready to go back on. Looking good. Should hold up for a little while longer. Got all the shirts and hoodies and everything down, all organized. Nikki's still slaving away on cars over in the office. We're putting together sandwich board signs for the show. Clint is putting backs on our IKEA cabinets so our shirts can be packed around without falling through. So getting that done as well. So yeah, things are coming together.